only $299 a month and no money down. Go to fairlease.org or call 1.
I did a 7-day squeezed online juice cleanse, and now I do them every so often, like every other week or so for just 2 or 3 days, just to make.
How's it going, guys? Friendly Neighborhood Tangent here. Still on my way home. So I like the idea of breaking this up into 20-minute segments. This is going to mean that your concept of my time is weird, because I'll be driving home from Austin to Dallas for like 3 or 4 days. But who cares? It's YouTube, it's entertainment, it's Facebook. And, you know, life goes on. Finally got my radio station working, one of them, but it's commercials. And every time I drive past a semi, it gets all staticky again. Let's see, where can we take it now? So, I'm still on my way home. Still working on things, still thinking through the YouTube process. Honestly, none of these videos have gone up, and I'll keep saying that. None of these videos have gone up since I started. So everything you're seeing, I have no feedback on. I have no feedback on whether or not yesterday's video went well, or the day before, or my introductory video. I have no feedback telling me whether or not, you know, he should or shouldn't be in my shoulder. As much as I love him, as much as I'm sure you guys are enjoying watching him, like, if it's wrong for him to be up there, if he's in danger up there, you know, let me know. I've said that before, and I'll say it again. These videos will start popping out, and as soon as I get feedback, I'll listen to it. But right now, this is all day 2 of recording, and nothing's gone on. So it's just kind of a trial and error, or a trial by fire, until I get there. Driving home kind of gets boring at times, because you reach this point where the radio stations don't work. You don't have a good enough signal to listen to Pandora, or to SoundCloud, or to YouTube. I haven't used my iPod in years. I will still purchase music because I still like to support the industry. But actually using my iPod, it's just, man, the internet's kind of taken over. Not for everyone, I'm sure, but for me, it's, you know, it's just there. But I'm in this dead zone. No radio, no stations available. It's just crazy. So I'm driving down 35. And 35 is basically the one stretch of road that anybody in Texas will recognize. There's constantly construction. It's constantly being worked on. It's kind of the highway. 35 is the highway. When someone talks about getting on the highway, they're usually talking about it, at least going north or south. There are obviously other highways, and if you live out like west of me, then you might not know what I'm talking about. But San Antonio, Austin, and Dallas, 35 goes right through all of them and right up through Oklahoma. And it is the hell of highways when it comes to traffic. There's constantly traffic during rush hour. There's constantly lanes closed off. There's constantly something being worked on. You know, you'll hear a lot of jokes from Texans about the highway constantly having construction. It's true. 35 is always being worked on and always being expanded. It's nuts. Hold on. Thought I was gonna burp. So, yeah. Just kind of quiet, nothing else to do but talk to you guys. What else can I talk about? Let's see. I'm kind of just turning on a camera without a purpose at this point. This is just my way of not going insane on the road. You know, Wilson, nobody else will listen to me. Just kidding. Yeah, it really is. It gets quiet out here, and there's nothing else to do but turn my camera on and start talking. I like this better. I like this better than just sitting in absolute silence, going down the highway. Road hypnosis is bad, guys. Don't fall for it. For you, those of you that don't know, road hypnosis is when you've been driving for so long that you start to zone out and lose attentiveness. Like you stop paying attention to your driving. Road hypnosis is kind of a broad term, but you know, if you've ever been driving and just forgotten how long you've been in the car and forgotten how you got somewhere, that's kind of it. It also makes you more prone to hit something in front of you if you're not paying attention. So, you could argue, yeah, that's terrible. You could argue that me talking to you guys and keeping my eyes on the road is helping me be more attentive because it's allowing me an outlet so that I don't get bored and I don't just focus down the highway. That said, if you cannot multitask, don't log and drive. That's not good. As far as I know, it's not illegal. I'm not doing anything against the law, and honestly, I have ADHD, so multitasking is kind of encoded in my DNA. That's not entirely accurate, I know, but I do actually tend to do better with music or with someone to talk to or with something to keep me entertained while I focus on driving. It may look like I'm looking at the camera a lot, but honestly, my eyes are really staying on the road more than anything. You'll see me look around every once in a while, but if you've driven before, you know I'm checking my mirrors. Mostly I do top and left. I don't usually check the right. I'm just giving you driving statistics. Nobody wants to hear that. But yeah, no, I'm being responsible, guys. And I want you guys to do the same. Don't drive distracted. If you can handle talking to someone and driving, great. Do it hands-free. Don't hold the phone up to your ear. Don't sit there playing with your map or playing with your YouTube or playing with your iPod. I mean, I'll admit I've done it once or twice, but that's not a good habit to have. If you're gonna do something, do it hands-free. You've heard me tinkering with my radio. I've got hand controls on my steering wheel, so I never take both hands off of my steering wheel. I'm constantly in control of my car. I am being 100% safe, just a PSA. So yeah, ooh, cows. There's always cows. That's not really a big deal in Texas. So anyway, yeah, this is kind of, I'm trying to think on what else to talk about. I'm still getting this whole system worked out in my head. What else is there? See, I bored them to sleep too. I don't blame you guys if you've left at this point. Anyway, so we talked about writing, and I talked a lot about David. Hello again. I got a phone call, and whenever I get phone calls, it turns off the camera. So I am sorry about that. Honestly, I might just kind of start over, because I don't know that I got much good in that last video anyway. But just in case I do, hello guys, Friendly Neighborhood Tangent here. Still driving home, still working on the video process. So here's a fun thing. In Texas, you can pretty much go to any city you can think of. You can go to Paris, Texas. You can go to Italy. You can go to west. You can go, I don't know, I think we've pretty much got all of our bases covered. It gets crazy. Like, Texas is a big enough state that we have a city pretty much named after everything. We have a city named Nameless. And from what I understand, the story behind that is someone wrote a very angry letter. They kept getting rejections for their city name. They said, we will rename Nameless, and the city approved that as their name. Yes, this is the weird state. It's not just Austin. But anyway, let's see if my radio is working yet.
Because when you text like or dislike, deny.
Nope. Still don't have my station. I mean, I got one of them working, but not really. I'll edit out all the awkward silence, by the way. At this point, I'm kind of getting burnt out of things to talk about, but I'm going to leave the camera on. I'll come up with something eventually. This is called Tangents for a reason. But this might turn out into nothing. This might turn into an episode. We'll see how it goes. For now, I'm just going to kind of focus on driving, or I'm already focused on driving, which I'm not. We'll see how it turns out, and I'll edit the silence out. Don't worry about that.
Data counts for $100 period when you
42/43-year-old next year.
Usamos un sistema de apartado de 60 días. Hacemos envíos de
Mexican
dinero
music.
a México, Centro y Sudamérica. ¿Qué se va a recuperar?
We're able to obtain, but tradition. It's the sole reason you don't get a job.
Yeah.
And Cat, you never know. Maybe the real thing. The moments when he's not able to finish.
See what I mean, though? A ton of Mexican stations. Pretty sure that's just a Texas thing. If that happens in other states, I would be surprised. Maybe California.
Criteria. If you have a job making $400 per week.
Theaters this Friday. If you're about to really come.
I'm actually making good time. I'm actually passing McLean Stadium, which is pretty good. I'm used to heading home from like San Antonio because that's where my mom lives. So that, I guess I shouldn't read too much into it. It just feels so much faster because I'm headed home from Austin. So, man. Can you not look at me? Can you go back to sleep? Your breath smells like skunk. I don't like that. Why does your breath smell like skunk? So, do you guys want to hear the story about my hat? Because that's actually a good story. Not really long, but it's just something to pass the time. So, first off, I've always loved fedoras. I've always loved trilbies, which is technically what this is, but yeah, fedoras. I had a very special one that I wish I could find again. It said Rebel Spirit on the back. It had a fleur-de-lis on it. Got stolen at like a restaurant, and I had never. It's discontinued. I could never find it again. That was my hat for years. I had another hat that you might have seen in one of my other videos, unless I edited it out. That was kind of the replacement for it, but it just didn't feel the same. So I've kind of been without a trademark hat for the last 2 or 3 years. And then a couple weeks ago now, mind you, my favorite color is orange. I went out with a friend, just to do something, just so I'm not sitting out at the house. I went out with a friend, and they convinced me to take them to the mall. So we went over to the mall, and we were walking around. Actually went the complete wrong direction. They wanted to go to Hot Topic, and we went the wrong way. No idea where we were going. But as we did, we walked past this store with a ton of fancy leather and leather suits. It was definitely like a leather shop, but like a fancy like suit leather shop, not like Renaissance leather. No, like modern leather. But as I walked by, this hat was just sitting on display from view of the window, not in the window, but from the view of like outside the store. And I walked past and I saw it and I went, that is an orange fedora. And my friend goes, yeah, that is an orange fedora. And I think to myself, you know, I just started working for Uber. I don't have that much money. I do not need this fedora. I don't need it. I'm fine. So I'm trying to behave myself. And I do. I try really hard to behave myself. I'm like, I don't need it. It's not a big deal. It's just a hat. Like, seriously, it's just silly, and I only want it because it's orange. But as I was saying, I don't need it. My friend looked at me and she was like, are you sure? And I just stopped in place, eyes as wide as possible. I'm like, I am not sure. Turned right back around, walked into that store, and bought this hat. This hat is just me. Like, I know it's silly, and I know that an orange fedora just seems ridiculous, but orange is my favorite color, fedora is my favorite hat, and I'm just kind of a wacky person. I mean, the whole theme, tangent, I'm flying off on tangents all the time. My personality, my creative side, my wacky side, this hat is just me. And I bought it, and I thought it's a silly buy that I would never wear. But after that, you know, I've been wearing it every time I work Uber so that, like, people that ride can find me. And not only that, but when I showed it to people, I was like, this is just so me. It popped in my head that I could use this if I ever did YouTube, or if I ever did anything. Like, I'm planning to be a writer, so I could wear this to every book signing that I ever do. It can just be my trademark. And here I am, doing YouTube videos, wasn't really expecting to, and I love this hat. This hat is my trademark, and these videos, I love it. It's working for me. I actually don't know, I haven't seen it, how any of it's going, but it worked out. That's not to say listen to every impulse buy you ever make, but I've been going through a rough time, and so a new hat, a new wallet, new something else too. A new hat, a new wallet, a new unicorn that's sitting up here on my rearview mirror, I just kind of, I bought stuff to feel better, and it worked. You know, switching out to this new wallet that I have felt nice. Buying this hat that I'm wearing all the time felt really nice. It makes you feel good, and sometimes you need that. Don't go irresponsible. You know, don't buy yourself into bankruptcy. But as much as people criticize, like, anyone in a poor neighborhood for buying a bag of chips, as much as people criticize someone with very little money buying a cheeseburger or a milkshake, there's a very important thing that you learn in IOP, that you learn in anything really, in any sort of therapy in life, that these people aren't getting, and that's to treat yourself. And treating yourself is really important. Now, do it responsibly. But if you've been doing really good with money, and you've saved an extra $100 to spend on whatever you want, and you've made you've made that extra cash, and yeah, you're on food stamps, or yeah, you're barely scrounging by, but you did good today, then what's wrong with buying yourself a bag of chips, you know? We used to live in a society where not everyone had a TV, but they had books, and before books, we went outside. The reality is, you criticize people for buying stuff, even stuff for their kids, or junk food, or video games, or any of that. But what do you expect me to do? Sit inside and do nothing? There are three things in America that were in our Constitution that I think are very important. Oh no, I've gone political. No, but I sincerely believe it. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We all have those inalienable rights. And the pursuit of happiness is one that we often forget when we criticize people for buying an orange hat or for buying a bag of chips. I think that being happy is just as important as being stable. And you do normally want to be stable and take care of yourself and not end up homeless somewhere. But there's something to be said for treating yourself every once in a while. It's the pursuit of happiness. And everybody has that right. To do it responsibly, but to do it. I feel really good. I felt really good buying myself some stuff. And I didn't run out of money. I've been very responsible with my money. I've been doing a lot better with it, which I like. I used to be very responsible with money, and then I got bad about it. I just stopped paying attention. I didn't keep track. I didn't check all the time. So I'm learning, and I'm learning to take care of my money. And now that I have a job, and now that I'm making money and not just depending on my parents, and I use my tips to treat myself. That's really what I do. My income is my income, and that goes to gas and goes to school and goes to staying alive. But the tips that I get on the job, I got a $10 tip, and I use that to wash my car. I got a $5 tip, and I got a 4-for-4 meal at Wendy's. You know, that kind of stuff. It's great to treat yourself every once in a while. Another reason to do it is motivation. You know, if you're struggling with depression like I am, getting out of the house is difficult. And while you do need to be healthy, don't eat junk food until you're dying. But one of the things that I do to motivate myself is instead of allowing my anxiety to convince me to stay inside, I'll say, all right, look, if I go to the doctor and I get there on time and I I take care of myself today, then I get to reward myself with a milkshake from across the street. Self-motivators, self-rewards. It sounds childish and weird, but it's good, especially when you're fighting emotional disabilities, emotional disorders. I wanted to say mental, but emotional. Depression, anxiety. Don't overdo it, but don't underestimate the power of rewarding yourself. It's okay every once in a while. Indulge a little bit if that's what it takes to get yourself healthy and outside. All that said, don't drink milkshakes every single day and eat burgers every single day. I do. It's not good for me. I have a really bad problem with soda. I drink soda all the time. But take care of yourself. But if it takes rewards to do that, then there's nothing wrong with rewarding yourself once a week, once every other week, once a month. You have to have something for you. With that said, I've reached another 20 minutes, so I'm going to end that one here. And I might start another one. We'll see how that goes. I'll probably check my radio stations again, and I might rock out for a little bit. So I don't know if this is going to be the last one for the day or not. There might be one or two more, but I'm running out of ideas. That's not to say ideas won't come to me. Remember the discussion about writing a couple days ago for you, a couple minutes ago for me. Ideas will just pop in my head. I might come back. I might start talking to you. But for now, stay safe, drive safe, and be healthy. And have a good one, guys. I love you.